Hello Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Capricorn, today we're going to focus on your past, present, as well as your future, and then we're going to get the overall advice for your current situation. All right, for Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Venus. So Capricorn, in the past, we do have the Two of Cups. Your current energy is the Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. And in the near future, we do have the Queen of Cups. Okay. The overall energy, we do have the, okay, we got the Five of Swords, we got the Two of Swords, and then we also have the, oh, this is tough, King of Swords. Okay, so you're dealing with this King of Swords over here. The reason why I'm like, yeah, that's kind of tough is because, and to be honest, I don't even know why this person looks at you like this, but whatever. You're definitely dealing with somebody who does not trust you as far as they can throw you. Why? I have no idea. That's like the confusing part of it all, because you're showing up as a Queen of Cups to the Queen of Pentacles. That's why I find this to be very confusing, because a Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's very big on commitment as well as loyalty. You know, the Queen of Cups basically represents somebody who has a really big heart. And needless to say, when it comes down to this individual, okay, that doesn't trust you as far as they can throw you, needless to say, you're very much so in love with this person. You're very, very emotionally invested when it comes down to this person. I mean, you're all in when it comes down to this person. You're very committed and devoted to them and, you know, what you share with them. So as far as them not trusting you as far as they can throw you, I don't know why. I don't know why. Not only do they not trust you as far as they can throw you, dude, like, this person feels like they gotta watch their, well, not that they feel, scratch that. It's not that they feel like they can't trust you. It's not that this person feels like they have to watch their back when it comes on to you. They just think they do. The swords in tarot basically represent our thoughts. So I take that back. It's not that this person feels like you're untrustworthy. It's not like this person feels like they have to watch their back when it comes on to you. They just think they do. For whatever reason, they just think that they do. Okay. Okay, all right, let's look at the Two of Cups real quick. Okay, tell me more about the Two of Cups. Yeah, well, we have the Ace of Swords, which for me, by the way, as a reader, basically represents the symbol of trust. And then we also have the Queen of Wands, and then we also have the Hierophant. I feel like you've been about them from the freaking start. Like, this individual is like all you see and all you want. Like, I feel like you've been about them from the start. From the start. Okay, I feel like I'm missing something here, because this doesn't make no freaking sense as to why this person's looking at you this way. Like, this doesn't make, something's not adding up to me. You know what I mean? Like, something's not adding up to me. Because, you know, from the looks of it, you know what I mean? Like, not only have you been about this person from the start, but, you know, this is somebody that, you know, you can definitely see yourself, you know, getting married to one day, starting a family. I mean, the whole shebang bang, you know what I mean? So it's like, as to why this human being is looking at you like, I don't know, I don't trust them, beyond me. Let's figure this out, though. Tell me more about the King of Swords. Let's see. Okay. I just spoke about this recently, but for the life of me, I forgot. Which zodiac sign I was doing, but somebody else had a message like this. I don't know if it was you, though. But basically what I was saying in the other reading is a thief is always going to think the person standing next to them is a thief. You know, a liar is always going to essentially think the person standing next to them is essentially lying to them. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what's actually going on here. It's not that you're this untrustworthy person. It's not that. It's basically what I just said. It's like, a thief is always going to think the person standing next to them is a thief. You know what I mean? So in this case, in this case, It looks like you are dealing with somebody who has a tendency of lying to people. Therefore, they probably look at you like you're a liar. This person, has the tendency of manipulating people. Therefore, they probably think, that you're trying to run some type of game on them and manipulate them. Um, the Five of Swords, also represents betrayal, at its finest. So, if this person, has betrayed, many, many people, and deceived many people, this person's thinking you're probably going to turn around and do the exact same thing. This person thinks you're basically like them. More of the story. They basically think that you're like them. This doesn't really have anything to do with like past traumas or anything like that. It really doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with past traumas. This has everything to do with the simple fact that they think that you're basically like them. Like you're just like them. You're a liar just like they are. You're a deceiver just like they are. Like they think that you're just like them. And I feel like that's why. That's why this person doesn't trust you. Now don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I feel like they want to trust you. I just don't think that they think that they can. You know what I mean? If that makes any fucking sense. Like, they want to trust you. I just don't think that they think that they can. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's keep going. I'm very curious to know how this person actually feels. The primary reason why this person does want to trust you, let's just focus on that for a second. The primary reason why this person wants to essentially trust you is because you are somebody that they would love to go off and build and establish a life with. But it's hard, dude. It's hard. It's hard because as much as they want to trust you, they don't think that they can trust you. And it's not because you're untrustworthy. It's because they think you're just like them. If that makes freaking sense. I feel like I'm going to overthink this reading once I'm done. Because I think that I'm saying it in the right way. I don't know. This person's confusing me. But yeah, I think I'm saying it the right way. I don't know. I'm just overthinking it right now. But yeah, I am definitely getting that they just think that you're just like them. They think that you're just like them. All right. Tell me more about the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Star. We have the Moon. And then we also have the Empress out here. I do want to look at the Moon before I say anything. Tell me more about the Moon. It looks like you've tried to figure out ways, right? To make your relationship with this person work and make this, person within your relationship that you share with them, feel, safe, comfortable, and secure is basically what I'm getting. I feel like you've tried to make this person feel safe, comfortable, and secure within your relationship with them. But nothing appears to be working is basically what I'm getting, and you don't fully understand why. And it's because they think you're just like them. Here's the thing with the King of Swords. I should have, mentioned this earlier, but I guess I'll just do it now. When it comes down to the King of Swords, oh, man, when a King of Swords makes their mind up about something, it's very, 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 very hard for anybody to change a King of Swords' mind. Very, very hard. I almost want to say it's remotely impossible, to be completely honest, to change a King of Swords' mind. The only person that can change this person's mind about you is them. It's not going to be you and everything that you do to try to prove your love and loyalty to them. It literally has to be them that needs to be the one to essentially change their mind about you. You have a better chance at changing, honestly, the wheels, on a moving vehicle than this person's mind about you. And I'm just being totally honest with you. You could move a whole freaking mountain for this person just to prove to them that you love them and you care about them and you're serious about them. And none of that is going to really matter and or change this person's mind because they still think the way that they think about you. They still believe what they believe about you. That's the thing. They think you're just like them. But that's the thing, is that you're not. You know what I mean? You're not. You're not. But they think that you are, but you're not. And then what kills me what really kills me about this individual is that although they may think that you're just like them, they don't really have any sort of concrete evidence to essentially back that up. But they still believe you're just like them. So, like, for example, let's just say that this person thinks that, like, you know, like, you're like this, like, freaking disloyal person. Well, they don't have anything to sit here and say, like, I know without a shadow of a doubt Capricorn's disloyal because look, I got the receipts, I got the proof, I got the evidence. Like, they don't have anything. They don't have anything. They don't have anything. So, yeah, they don't have anything. So, I don't know. Like, okay, because, like, with them, it's like, you know, I was like, okay, God, I'm trying to, like, really explain this person to the point where it kind of makes sense here, but it's like, you know how some people, like, you got to give a person a reason, right? To, like, you know, you got to give a person a reason to, like, not trust, you, right? And in this case, I don't feel like you're giving them a reason, like, you're not giving them a reason, but even though you're not giving them a reason, they still think the way that they think. They still believe what they believe to be true about you. You know what I mean? It's like, they don't function that way, I guess. Like, they just don't function that way. Like, they just don't. Like, even if a person doesn't give them a reason, they're still going to think what they're going to think about that person, regardless if that person gives them a reason or not. They're going to still think whatever they want to think. So it's like, then there's that. Yeah, the only person that can change this individual's mind is them. It's not you. It's not anyone. It's literally them. I feel like this person doesn't really trust anybody, to be completely honest. And I mean, I guess in a way, it kind of makes sense going back to like that classic saying that I said, a thief is always going to think the person standing next to them is a fucking thief. It is what it is. Like, even if that person standing next to them is not a thief, they're still going to think that person's a thief because they themselves are a thief. You see what I mean? So it's like, this individual doesn't trust anybody. This person doesn't trust anybody. Like, regardless if that person gives them a reason to not trust them or not, they're still not going to trust that person. You know what I mean? They're still not, The thing is that this person is very much so capable of a lot. They're capable of a lot. They're capable of lying to a person in their face. They're capable of deceiving a person, betraying a person. They're capable of a lot. So in their head, they don't put anything past you or anybody. You know what I mean? Because of what they personally are capable of doing, to a person. You know what I mean? Okay. Now, in the near future, we do have the Queen of Cups. We got the Three of Cups, a Judgment card, and then we also have the Five of Cups. Okay. I feel like you have like this idea of what your relationship with this person could be and look like and consist of, as well as feel like. The problem is that you feel like you're never going to be able to get to that point with this person in particular. I mean, you can see it, you can see the two of you happily ever after, building towards this amazing life with one another. Like, you could see it. You could see it happening, The problem that you're having is that you don't feel like the two of you are ever going to have that, let alone get there to the point where you guys are living happily ever after. Okay. And it makes sense, you know what I mean? It makes sense because at the end of the day, you're dealing with a King of Swords like energy. It would have been different if you were dealing with, like, I don't know, like a King of Pentacles, or like a King of Cups for prime example, but you're dealing with a King of Swords like energy. That's tough. Like, it's tough in the sense where as much as you may want, to change this person's mind about you, I'm telling you, you have a better chance at changing the wheels on a moving vehicle than this person's mind about you. The only person that can change this individual's mind about you is them. And that's what makes the situation a little tough, right? Because a King of Swords, man, it's like once they make up their mind about someone or something, like, there is no changing that until they decide to change it. You know what I mean? What advice can you give me for Capricorn? Okay. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Cups. We also have the Two of Wands, so the Four of Swords, and we got the Sun to the Four of Cups. Okay. Okay. Here's the thing. Their way of being is going to push you further and further and further away. It is basically what I'm getting, and I hate to say it, but I feel like it's honestly for the better, considering what I saw here at the bottom of the deck. Their way of being is going to continue to push you further and further and further away, and you just have to let it happen, my friend. You just gotta let it happen, okay? I understand you probably don't want that to happen, but you're just gonna have to allow their way of being to essentially push you away. Instead of you putting up a fight, you need to just simply throw your hands up, okay? And let this person, their way of being, push you further and further and further and further away. Because there's going to come a point in time where this person's going to realize that their way of being, all it's really doing is pushing away the very person that they don't necessarily want to lose. But in order for them to essentially realize that, you need to stop putting up a fight, okay? When you feel this person pushing you further and further away, don't get up and try to put up a fight and be like, hey, stop pushing me away. Hey, please stop. Don't do this. You're pushing me away. Please stop. No, don't do all of that. You know what I mean? Because the only way that this person is going to wake up and realize that they're pushing the very person that they don't necessarily want to lose away is by you allowing them to essentially push you further and further and further away. You just got to let it happen. You got to, unfortunately for you, you do have to essentially let it happen, because I do feel like once you do allow it to essentially happen, you stop putting up this fight and you stop going above and beyond, to prove, yourself to this person. That's when this individual is going to wake up and realize that maybe, just maybe, they're taking this a little too far. Maybe, just maybe they're wrong about you. But this energy needs to hit this individual. It has to hit them. And that does kind of require you to kind of get out the way, Capricorn. So this whole, don't push me away, and can you please stop doing this because you're really pushing me away? Don't do that anymore. Stop doing that. Let this person's actions and behavior push you away. Let it happen. Because they themselves are going to essentially realize, oh shit, maybe I took it a little too far. Maybe I'm wrong about them, because they need to wake up and realize that they're pushing the very thing that they don't necessarily want to lose away from them. And the only way that they're going to realize that is by you letting them push you away. Stop putting up a fight. Stop, with this whole, you're pushing me away, every time you do this. And just don't do that. Just let it happen. Let it happen. You know what I mean? Because if you let it happen, things are going to play out in your favor is basically what I'm getting. They will eventually wake up and realize, that they are wrong about you. They will eventually wake up and realize that their actions and their behavior, all it's really doing is pushing you further and further away from them, which is something that this person does not want. To happen, okay? So do I think that this is a phase that you guys are going through within your relationship with one another? Yes. I do. I think it's just a phase, and I think that this will essentially blow over and things will essentially get better, but it truly does start with you getting out the way, to be honest. Yeah, it starts with you essentially getting out the way. Don't tell them that they're pushing you away. Show them that they're pushing you away through your actions. You know what I mean? Because you're dealing with a masculine energy, Capricorn. You're dealing with a masculine energy. Masculine energies, they go based off of a person's actions, not necessarily a person's words. They go based off of a person's actions. If you're showing this person through your actions that they're pushing you further and further and further and further away, they're going to catch on to that. And they're going to wake up and realize, oh man, I really need to stop being like this, towards Capricorn. It's not fair for them, yada, yada, yada. But this whole you verbally expressing to this person, you're pushing me away. I'm just telling you, the way you're treating me, you're pushing me away. That's not going to hold any weight with this person, nor is it going to influence this individual to change, because you're dealing with a masculine energy. If you were dealing with a feminine energy, that's a different story. You know what I mean? But you're not. You're dealing with a masculine energy, and masculine energies go based off of a person's actions, not a person's words, okay? So with this one over here, it's you got to show them that they're pushing you away. And it starts with you letting them. I know that you don't want that, but it starts with you letting them. So when this person does something to essentially push you away, instead of you putting up a fight and, you know, crying and yelling at them and, why are you doing this to me? You're just pushing me away. You're going to lose me. You're going to lose me. Like, don't say nothing. Let their actions and their behavior push you away. That's it. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And they're going to wake up and realize, all right, like they really need to stop. They really need to stop looking at you in this manner, and treating, you know, you like you're like, you know, this individual's enemy or something, because that's how they look at you, like you're like this person's enemy or something. And in all actuality, you're not. But I think that time will essentially, I feel like time has been revealing that to this person. That's like the crazy part. That's like the part I'll never really understand when it comes down to this individual, because time has already revealed to this person the truth. They just don't want to accept that when it comes down to you. They just don't want to accept that. And that's like literally on them. But I'm just saying, it's like that is what spirit basically wants you to do, right? Is let this person push you away. Show this person that they are essentially pushing you away through your actions, not your words, your actions. Because they're going to wake up and realize it. That's kind of besides the point. When they do, everything will essentially change for the better between the two of you. But you gotta get out the way. You got to get out the way so the universe can like teach this person the lesson that they essentially need to learn. And it starts with you letting this person push you away. Stop sitting there arguing with this person about how their actions and their behavior are pushing you further and further away. And don't go as far as to threaten, you know, this person by leaving the relationship. Right? Don't do any of those things. Just say nothing. Say nothing at all. You know what I mean? And just let your actions speak for itself. Because that's what they understand the most, right? Is a person's actions and behavior. Not so much a person's words, because you could say anything to somebody. You could say anything to somebody. Words don't really mean anything to this, to masculine energies like actions do. Actions, you know, speak volume. You know, they understand action, but when it comes down to like you going back and forth with this person, oh, you're hurting me, you're pushing me away, you see, blah, 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 blah. That's you're wasting your time is basically what I'm saying. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything. Just let your actions speak for itself. All right. So that is what I have for you, my friend. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.